Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the new SBC Koscielny card to review today. So, we're taking a look at a card that is 6'1", low-high work rates, right-footed, 2-star skill moves with a 3-star weak foot capability. In regards to his in-game stuff, he's got the power header trait, which is very helpful for corner kicks and whatnot. He does have an injury-prone trait, which I don't think matters in division rivals and foot champs. I don't even think these guys get injured. I think they only get injured if you're playing like squad battles or something. And he does have the leadership trait as well. In regards to his in-games, he's got 77 acceleration, 77 sprint speed. So obviously super, super ideal to give a card like this the shadow chemistry style for the +10/+10, which I will show you guys right here. So if we take a look at the card, he's got 87 acceleration with 87 sprint speed with a shadow chemistry style. He's got no shooting presence whatsoever. He's a center back, not a big deal there. In regards to passing, his passing is actually quite nice with 84 short passing, 81 long passing, and 84 composure. So all of those being taken into consideration together is really, really nice. Now, the thing that we're going to have to experiment with a card like Koscielny is going to be his agility, balance, ball control, and dribbling under very tight situations, right? Because obviously the card needs to have the body type and all that stuff to compensate for his dribbling stats not being like crazy good, but at the same time, he is a center back. So it's mostly defensive presence with a card like this. 87 acceleration, 87 sprint speed is pretty decent, but as you guys know, attackers in FIFA nowadays definitely have more of an advantage over the defenders. So sometimes, in certain cases, 87 acceleration, 87 sprint speed may not be enough because pace is a very, very big thing this year. However, with this card, he essentially has perfect defense, right? So his defense, his defensive AI in regards to tracking after players and whatnot needs to be on point for him to be a very good player in the game. So that's his dribbling stats down. Base card stats for defending is actually pretty good, so that when you give him the shadow chemistry style boost, he actually looks pretty good as well. So Koscielny is a cool card in the game for different reasons, mostly if you're like an Arsenal fan or you want to build like a cool French team in the future where you have like a cool concept of a card like this in your squad. It's kind of interesting to look at with him just chilling in there. In regards to physical presence, the card does have 90 aggression. I do think that the 90 aggression part on the card is going to be somewhat of a lifesaver for him, because when you have the pace and when you have the defensive stats and when you have the high and average plus body type, the aggression plays a huge part in regards to being able to defend in certain situations really nicely, right? He's got 82 strength, 86 jumping. 86 jumping is pretty decent with the 6'1" height, as well as the 82 strength. 72 stamina for a center back is pretty solid. So how are we going to line up with Koscielny in the game? Pretty much, we're going to get into a game. I just want to pretty much just let people attack me as much as possible. I want to see what his positioning is like when I'm not controlling him. I want to see what his pace is like when I do control him. I want to see what he's like acceleration-wise when he's going into the play instantly and all that fun stuff. So we're going to get into a game for max chemistry so that he does actually get all the full stats that he is supposed to get. And we'll see how the card plays, man. Like I said, it's an interesting card that's French, that plays for the League One. You know, you got some cool links with like Renato Sanchez, a tall. You can do like a hybrid and use like Varane on the side and then kind of like switch up your 4-3-3 a little bit. So a couple of interesting variables with this card for sure. So we'll get into a friendly match, play the max chemistry, and we'll see how he plays. Sorry guys, so I almost forgot to actually show the tactics that I am going to be using him in. So I do want to try to use him in a combination of the 4-4-2 that we usually use, as well. Oh, this is my other one, so let me just do that real quick. I want to use a combination of my 4-4-2 and my 4-1-2-1-2, but I do want to play him as one of the center backs in a forward-the-back formation, basically on team press. I want to see what he's like again when he's putting pressure on somebody and when I can just like switch to him and kind of like get into the defensive areas really quickly, right? So team press is going to be very interesting in regards to checking that out with the card, because if he's ever caught out of position, I want to see what he's like running back and whether he feels agile enough to do it, because I use players like Eder Militao and Diego Carlos, and they're both fantastic for me because they're very agile in regards to getting into certain spaces to defend really well. So I want to see if Koscielny is going to offer that same thing to me. But yeah, let's get into a game. Okay guys, so I want to start off with, I would say, the 4-4-2 because it's a little bit more open in the midfield. I think the 4-4-2 will definitely be the best one to do so far. So we'll do ultra defensive, and then we'll switch to our team press tactics, and we'll see how he defends. Okay, so the situation here, I'm pushing down with the center back. He covers that one dude up top really well. João Felix actually coming back in the defensive areas really nicely to defend that situation. Koscielny was marking that guy so far really nicely, so nice. Nice little goal there as João Felix to score that opportunity. We'll take that. We'll take that. Oh my god, this is Chelsea. My guy. You can see that Koscielny's defensive AI is actually quite solid so far. I like the way that he reacts to every player making certain runs. That's good. Ooh, see that animation right there with Koscielny? That, like, emphasis animation is a little bit questionable, man. It's the turning and then the accelerating into certain space that could potentially be a problem with him. That one right there was very noticeable for sure. It's definitely very, very noticeable. Outrageously skillful. Oh, what an opportunity. Renato Sanchez, man, absolutely brilliant in that 4-4-2 setup. Huh, I wanted to see if I could score from that angle with Justin Martins. It didn't work out, though. I'm going to turn on overload ball side so we can really make the team open. Oh. I can't really blame Koscielny that much for that situation because the manual tackling in the game is very strange, right? Like, it should be possession-based. Like, he should be able to, like, kind of tap the ball, go around the player, transition forward, but I'm noticing that his transitioning left and right is not necessarily an issue. It's that one situation right there where I had to turn with him to go and defend that was questionable. Those ball roll touch animations for those goals are really, really nice. Alright, so this is no second man press right here. Just want to see where his positioning is like here. Ooh, he actually aggressively went into him right away. That was actually kind of nice. Because if I were to switch to him myself while he was in front of the attacker right there, I was actually going to be able to defend that nicely. Let's see what his dribbling is like on the ball. I'm actually kind of curious about it. It's a little bit emphasized. Just a tiny bit. Okay, I'm just going to do this. It seems like a card so far that you're going to have to rely on your defensive AI a lot. Corner goal right there. Koscielny at the top. Not a bad goal. Okay, players out of position right here. We'll do team press at that moment. Okay, now it's the acceleration and going after players here that I have to see. His running doesn't feel that light. It feels okay and usable, but it doesn't feel that light. See what his dribbling is like again. Fake shot stop. So it's when he's under pressure, that's when his dribbling stats are noticeable. That's fine, because center backs, you mostly have to make those specific dribbles anyways into certain spaces to see the space. So it's not bad that his dribbling is like that, under pressure in that way. Ball roll touch, man, always so consistent. See, it's his marking right here. You see that? Okay, now we gotta chase after the player here. Yeah, 100% doesn't feel light on his feet. I will say that. So if you guys have ever ran with players like Diego Carlos and like Eder Militao, they are in a sense like agile runners chasing after the ball. So you shouldn't expect that from someone like Koscielny. That is definitely a noticeable characteristic trait on his card so far. What it seems like so far with Koscielny's card is more a matter of defensive AI being as good as it possibly can be. I think that's going to be like the most important thing to look at when it comes to a card like this. Similar to like Thiago Silva, you know, he doesn't necessarily have the pace, but his defensive AI is what you would have to rely on. And for links as well, right? Because with Koscielny, you can get links with Mbappe playing the center mid position as a starting formation. Stuff like that, right? Alright guys, so final verdict on the Laurent Koscielny card. So with this card, guys, if you were to use him in your team, you 100% require the shadow chemistry style. So a couple things that I noticed with this card, right? Defensive presence with this card is decent because of the fact that his shadow chemistry style boost is really, really significant and it makes the card significantly better in the game, right? What I did notice, however, is that And this is going to be a card by card basis. This is not going to be a consistent thing with everybody, but it's something that you will notice from base characteristics of a card transferring over no matter what upgrade they get. And all cards are like this. So with Lauren Koscielny's card, his dribbling stats, as well as his high and average plus body type, affects the agile part of the card in regards to, you know, turning and then running instantly and then turning and then just chasing after someone. That part of the card is a little bit questionable. However, his transitioning left and right is perfectly fine, which is great because a card like this that has the French links that's in the League One, that gives you those types of links is very, very important because right now people are trying to figure out ways to, you know, fit an Mbappe in the team, for instance, right? And because Mbappe is French, you can put Mbappe as your CDM in a 4-3-3 setup with Mbappe playing as a CDM and then linking up with Koscielny's card, and then Koscielny can just like link with other players as well. So that's the whole variable with this card. Now, in my opinion, I think the card is too expensive in regards to what he individually offers in-game specifically, but it is an SBC and it's a price that the EA chose to do, and to each their own. Everybody's value of a card is always different in regards to his ability in game, right? So again, with Koscielny's card, that is something that I noticed. His high and average body type as well as his dribbling did affect the card in a way, but everything else about the card is fine. Pace is a little bit low, again, because of his body type and dribbling stats. It's a little bit low when you want to play like a 4, 5, 6 depth in regards to chasing after someone. But again, because his defensive AI is actually kind of solid, his tracking after players is great. His marking is really good too. So it's just a matter of understanding when to use team press, when not to use team press, and when to commit and when not to commit. You have to be very careful when you commit with a card like Koscielny in your team. So if you guys do the team or you do the card because of chemistry links that you want in your squad, then be sure to do so. But for me, those two things together is what affected the card too much. And again, it could be a case-by-case basis with different defenders. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I'll catch you guys for next video. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.